welcome back to my channel. I'm Darian and I wanted to do a quick video on Sephora's Best Skin Ever Foundation and Concealer. So I don't want to even leave you waiting. I'm going to go ahead and jump in and say I love it. It's phenomenal. This is one of my favorite foundations and concealer as of now. I actually just kind of bought it on a whim. I believe they had a sale where it was like 30% off. So I was like, I don't have any of Sephora's actual products because I mostly, you know, go to Sephora to buy other products. So I was like, let me try some of their foundation, their concealer, a few of their products and see how I like it. And I ended up loving it, okay? I think once I started using it, I was like, I don't really have anything that I can say is like this. So the reason I say that is because the foundation and concealer are very thick. It's like a thick, buildable coverage type of foundation. And it also leaves this very skin-like, flawless look. And usually when I have dealt with thick foundations, either I'm left with like a really matte looking foundation or I'm left with something that looks really cakey and does not give that skin effect. So right then and there, I was kind of like, okay, this is real. This is really happening. I kind of was like, how come I haven't really heard much about this foundation? This is actually really good quality. I just have not really come across a lot of formulas like that. Usually when I've come across a skin like formula for foundation and even some concealers, it's usually been very liquidy, very thin, and not really buildable, if that makes sense. Yes, it has some coverage, but it's not necessarily the most buildable foundation. And so I think that's why I was a little surprised. And then compared to some of the other things that Sephora sells, because they do sell other brands, I feel like it's so affordable. So if you're somebody who wants some nice quality makeup but maybe you don't want to spend a huge price on it, I feel like this may be a good option for you. So this is what the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation looks like, and I didn't even notice this before, but I see that it says it's anti-pollution. So on the bottle it's described as a perfect natural finish long wear foundation. I completely agree with this. It's definitely long wear. The times that I've worn it, I felt like my makeup still looked good at the end of the day. Also, I can say with this foundation, I did not feel that my skin jumped from being very glowy to super oily at the end of the day. So I don't know how they do it. I don't know exactly how the formulation is, but I still feel like I had that skin-like look with pretty much full coverage. I consider it full coverage by the time I'm done doing all my makeup, and it stayed in place. I've come across some skin-like looking foundations and formulas that left me so greasy at the end of the day, and on top of that, it just feels like oil, like I'm rubbing oil on my face, and I don't like that feeling. But I love whatever they have done with this formula. I love the feeling of it. Yes, it does come out thick when it does come out, but because of the thickness of it, I have found that I don't have to do a full 3 pumps, which is usually what I will do when I do foundation. I have been able to get away with 2 pumps, so I feel like that is saving me some product. The color that I have in this foundation is 55, and I try to stick to a lot of neutral undertone products because that seems to work best for me, or sometimes I'll go a little warm. I did have another color before this one, and that color was a little too dark for me, and even with trying to make it work, I found at the end of the day I still needed to go lighter. The formula is what kept me wanting that other foundation, so I ended up picking up the right color for me, and I'm so glad that I did. So I'm going to actually read you some of the benefits that are on the actual bottle, because I like to kind of compare a product also to what the company says that it's supposed to be doing. So the back of this bottle says medium buildable coverage for the look of naturally perfected skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a video right now so you can see exactly how my skin looks after I blend this foundation in. And if you can see this glow, and again, this is a thicker foundation, so it's not like a thin, watery like foundation. It claims to be buildable, and I definitely agree that it's buildable and longer lasting. I would even say that I would consider this a good foundation for both dry and maybe oily skin types. I feel like somebody with oily skin may be pleased with this foundation if they're trying to go for a dewy look but still trying to combat oil. I feel like if you set your face well and apply this on top, you may be able to get good results. And I say that because of the way it feels, the formulation. Okay, so let's move on. The next thing it says is enriched with algae extract and hyaluronic acid. So I love that. I'm a skincare girl and I definitely, you know, like a good product with some skincare in it that's tailored to actually helping the skin along with giving a nice makeup application. So to me, that is very good. It also says it provides anti-pollution benefits and 12-hour hydration. As far as the times that I've worn this foundation, I definitely would say that I agree that I've got some long wear out of it, and that I feel like my skin just feels good when I wear this. I don't have any complaints as far as like my makeup, you know, kind of coming off or anything like that. I don't have any complaints of feeling really oily at the end of the day or anything like that. I just overall feel like this is a great foundation. So it says clinically proven to reduce signs of stress and fatigue. So I don't want to say that I necessarily have experienced that because I haven't really paid attention, you know, to that. But I can say that based off of how my skin has felt, the level of moisturization that I feel like my skin has been able to have with this foundation without being oily and still have that skin-like look, I can definitely see how that may be the case for people that wear this foundation. Moving on, the bottle says that I don't know if I actually pronounced the word, non-comedogenic. Anyways, and it also on the bottle says it's dermatologist tested. So I did not know that they put all of this into, you know, the making of this foundation. So again, that just backs my own personal feelings that I feel like this could be a good foundation for somebody with oily skin who still wants that skin-like look, that dewy look. Lastly, on the bottle, it says that this bottle is made of 30% recycled glass. So I actually purchased the foundation not knowing pretty much any of these things. I just know it said best skin ever, and I was expecting this foundation to give a nice skin-like look. Now after reading those things on the actual foundation bottle, I feel like that just kind of like backs my feelings about this foundation, why I love it and why I feel like it has been such a good foundation for my collection. I'm just trying to think now. I don't feel that I have any other foundation like this one. Yes, I do have some skin-like foundations. Yes, I do have some foundations that give that dewy look, but I still cannot say that they give what this foundation gives. I honestly would say that I feel like this foundation stands on its own compared to any of my other foundations. This is a foundation that I like better than some of my high-end foundations, and that's just real. If you can see up close, it gives a very, like, I want to almost say airbrush look. It gives a very skin-like airbrush look. I don't have on any highlighter. I opted for a more like glowy setting powder, which is actually from Sephora also. I actually contoured and set the concealer with the Sephora Microsmooth. These are their baked powders. I really love these, and I feel like I've gotten some good results from the powder. I feel like these powders go so perfectly with the foundation and the concealer from the Best Skin Ever line from Sephora. The reason I have two different colors is because I actually bought this in summer, so my idea was I could use this to highlight any areas that I highlighted with concealer, and then also some other parts of my face without having to dip into, you know, a big thing of loose powder. Sometimes I don't always like that loose powder feel or look. I'm not trying to go super full coverage. And then I got this one to kind of cover any other areas of my face where I felt like it was a little darker. The interesting thing now is I found that now that it's winter time, I'm able to use this to just set overall my face once I'm finished doing my makeup. And this one, because it's darker, I've been able to use as a contour powder. So the lighter one I have in the color Almond, and I really love this to set my concealer and stuff. And then the darker one I have in the color Hazelnut. I feel like it has a little touch of that warmthness, although it's a bake setting powder. And it says that it's a multitasking baked face powder, so I love that. Basically, to me, what that means is you can use it as whatever you want to on your face. Let's go ahead and jump into the Best Skin Ever concealers. It says that these are full coverage multi-use concealers. These are my favorite concealers right now. I just love the Best Skin Ever line. So I actually bought 2 concealers from them. The darker concealer I like to use to add a little bit more coverage under my eyes when I want that more kind of, I don't really know if I even use this as a real highlighted look because it's almost the same color as the foundation that I have. But when I want something a little bit more brighter, I like right now putting a little bit of this color on after I've put on this under eye concealer. So the color that I have in the darker one is 53.5 in, and I'm very pleased with this color. Even though it's not a super light highlight, for some reason I really like this color. I don't feel the need to go even lighter for that highlighted look. And then this yellowy color is 33.5. Why? So the fact that this is like 20 points on the color scale or whatever they use from this one, clearly this is a very bright difference, a very bright highlight. But I haven't had any issues with my skin tone feeling like it's washed me out or made me feel like it didn't really balance out. But again, when I do wear this one, I usually put it, and I put a little bit on top of the darker color. So if you're of a deeper skin tone and you want to see if this works as a highlight for you, I really don't have any complaints. I have it on now and I don't feel like it's like so drastic to where I feel like, girl, this ain't working. I feel like it has given me a pretty nice highlight. Again, I want to say this just in case you do buy this and you feel like it might be a little too light. I don't put a lot of this on when I do use it. I put a little bit on the inner corner under my eyes on one side and then a little bit on the other. But these for sure have been my favorite concealers as of lately. On the bottle, it actually does say that it is natural finish, long wear, and also it says anti-pollution. So I feel like those are really good things. If you care about those things in your product, I would say that I would consider it the perfect match for the foundation to help give you that nice skin-like look. I feel like if you prep and set well, you should be able to have good results from these products. Right now, these are some of my favorite makeup products, and I just really love the Best Skin Ever line. So hopefully they come out with more stuff and more products tailored to this line. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video. I really enjoy the Best Skin Ever line, and then also the Microsmooth baked powders. These are some of my favorite products right now in the makeup collection, and I've gotten some really good results from them. So I would say moving forward, I feel like this is something that I would like to keep in my collection as long as the formulation doesn't change or, you know, anything like that. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about the products. I hope that if you have them, that you are liking them, or if you're interested in trying them, I hope that helped to give you some insight on my experience with the product. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and be sure to check out any of my other videos that interest you. Bye.